Hi, today I'm going to teach you on how to solve the Rubik Cube. First, we're going to look into the Rubik Cube. Here we see 3 layers. We call this as the first layer, second layer, and third layer. Then, we're going to look into the pieces of a Rubik Cube. This piece in the middle is called the center. The center for all the sides of the Rubik Cube will not change, will not move, no matter how you twist it. Since it can't be moved, the color of each Rubik Cube is fixed. For example, the opposite of green will always be blue. The same goes for orange and red, white and yellow. In order to try to solve a Rubik Cube, we need to know some notations, including R that represents for right, L for left, U for up, D for down, F for front, and B for back, which accordingly represent the right, left, up, down, front, and back. But for this tutorial, we're only gonna use the right one, left, up, and front. Each notation means clockwise turn of that face with respect to that face, as if you're looking directly at it. In other words, if we're given an R, that means we're going to turn in clockwise with respect to the R. The same go for U. It's going to be clockwise. Notation with a prime symbol that looks like this too means an anti-clockwise. In this case, R prime means like this, which is at an anti-clockwise. The same goes for U. It's gonna be like this. There's also a situation where we get a notation 2. For example, we will get a R2. This means that you turn R clockwise 2 times. In other words, it's gonna be 1 time, 2 times. This is gonna be the same for R prime 2 times. Both R2 and R prime 2 goes to the same location. We can try the instruction here. R, U, R prime, U prime. By doing this 5 more times, we can go back to its original state. Now we're gonna start to solve the Rubik Cube. We're first gonna solve the first layer. In this case, you can choose any color as your top. For me, I choose the white side. Firstly, we're gonna match all the side pieces back to the center. In this case, we're gonna match all the white side pieces back to the white center. Now we're going to look around the whole cube and look and find any white sides. We found one right here. However, this piece should be flipped in order to match the white center. To do so, we're going to make this piece back to the second layer. So we're going to pull any way down. You can do this side also. Then we'll notice that this one is near the green center. And for it to be back to the white center, all we need to do is pull it back up. Now, the white is linked, however, not the orange. So we're gonna move the top layer and match the orange core here. Then we're gonna find the next side piece. Here we found one. However, this is right on the bottom. So we're gonna pull it aside and make it to the second layer. So we're gonna put this up. However, if we put this back up here, this is again, this pieces should be flipped in order to match the white center. So just as what we did just now, pull this away so it's gonna be at the second layer and put this back up. Now, one thing to note is that once you match this to color, all the side pieces should have a piece that corresponds to this core color. In this case, it is done since red is back linked to red. Now let's find another side pieces. This piece is right at the bottom of the white face, the top layer. So all we need to do is turn this two sides back up. So the white will face the white. However, the green is not linked back to its green core. Its green core is right in the opposite. And to fix this problem, we're gonna again pull this back to the second layer and turn the top layer to the side of the green. But in this case, only the top layer will move. So you need to remember that this side should be in this place. So all we need to do is turn once and turn twice. So in this case, the green should be linked to the green as in this case, this side will be linked back to the white. Now I'm going to pull this back and we see that the green is linked back to green, red to red, and orange to orange. Now we're gonna find the last white side piece left. So again, this side piece is right at the bottom. So we're gonna move this twice back to the above. But notice one thing. Once you did that, the orange went to the bottom. To avoid this mistake, we're gonna move this side to the place where it should be placed, which is this side piece. So we're gonna move this piece here. Now, link the white back to the white. Here, we completed a cross. Now we're gonna do the edges. Remember that the edges have three colors. So again, the white will face the top and the two colors on the side. Here we see this edge pieces. It's correct by facing the white top, however the color on the side is different. So we're gonna find its original piece, which is the blue and the orange, to replace this piece. Here is the edge piece that should replace this. So we're gonna extract this piece out from this position by replacing another edge piece here. So we're gonna pull this down so that the white is facing any sides. Since if you did another way, the white will be right at the bottom. So we're gonna put this back to layer 3 where it's facing either side but not the bottom, and replace it by turning one out and this back up. Notice one thing, that if you choose to rotate it this side, where the one that you're originally moving, this will get moved also and will become at the bottom again. So what we need to avoid is making the white side at the bottom. Let me put this back up. Now the white, blue and orange edge is out, and we need to put it back at this position. Now we're gonna put the white side, we're gonna turn the white side back to where it's supposed to be, like here. However, notice one thing, this piece should be back to this piece. To do so, again, we're gonna get away from the place that's gonna be moved, which is this one, and replace this to this position by just moving it and back up. So now we see that the white, blue and orange edge is in the correct position. Here is another edge piece with orange and green. Turn the cube around to see where it should be, and this piece should be here. So to do so, again, put this as the position it should be, and remember that the white should be facing either side. So put this away where it's gonna be moved. Put that down, in, up. So now the orange side of the first layer is done. Here is another edge piece with the white facing down. To solve this problem, we're gonna let this piece to replace this position no matter how the white is gonna be. So to do so, I'm gonna put this down, in, up. Now the white is on the side, and we're gonna pull this again out. Now you will notice that the white is facing the side of the cube, but not the bottom of it. And we're gonna put this back into place. Notice that this will be moving out, down, in, up. Now the last white edge piece is here. Again, replaced, down, away, up, back to its position. This piece is again going to be moved, away, down, in, up. Now the first layer is solved. So now we're gonna solve the second layer, but starting from now on, we're gonna use something called the righty alg and the lefty alg, where the right out means you do right ones, u ones, right prime ones, and u prime ones. This is later gonna be shown when doing the second layer. To do the second layer, we'll first put the first layer, turn it upside down, so the yellow is now on the top and white is gonna be on the bottom. Now, there are situations that some pieces are already in their correct position, like this one here. The green is matched with green and orange is matched to orange. Now, we're gonna find a piece that should be in their position. So, for example, the orange and the blue. So we're gonna match the orange back to the orange center first. So it's gonna be here. And the blue should be here. So this piece should be in this position. Now, to do so, we're gonna use this formula. So we're gonna match these two together, and then u write it out. So right u right prime u prime, and then spin left. So from the orange we're gonna go to the blue, and then do the lefty out, which is u prime, L prime, U prime, L, and then U. Now we will notice that the orange and blue pieces, blue side piece is now in their correct position. And easier way to do this is, let's find one for an example. So this one, red matched to the red, so, and the green is here. So we know this one should be in this position. So we need to remember which side, which direction the side should be going, which is the right side, and then move it away from the position. So it's gonna be like this. Now do the out that is corresponding to the direction that you want it to go, which is, in this case, I want it to go to the right side. So I'm gonna do the right out. So right out. Now we spin the cube to that direction that we wanted. So we want it to be on the right side. So we're gonna spin it right. And then do the other out, which is the left out. So again, this will be a simpler method for us to locate the correct side pieces back to between the center in the second layer. Now we look back at the first layer, nothing changed, and now the last one should be blue and red. Let's find blue and red. So blue and red is here. So we linked the red back to its red center. So it's going to be like this. So again, the simpler method. Away. I wanted to go to the left side, so left out, left out. Again, turn it to the left side, right out. So now the colors of the pieces of the second layer are all in their correct position. There are possibilities that you will notice that all the side pieces here doesn't match any ones that here. It's as it contains the yellow side pieces. Here is yellow, 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 yellow. So to in order to solve this, all we need to do is replace any of the pieces here. Since it's all yellow, we're gonna exchange it later anyways to any of the wrong position one. So in this case, I'm gonna replace this one. So again, we're gonna assume that I want this to go here. So I'm gonna turn U, right out, spin right, left out. So now the piece that is here just now, which is the red and the green, is out, and we need to put it back in this position. So again, right out, left, right out, left out. Here we go. Now the position is back to where it should be. And let's see. The same go to this one and this one, as this piece should be here, this piece should be here. So we're gonna replace any of the side pieces that contains a yellow into this position. So yep. Now this piece is orange and blue. Go here, away, right out, left out. There we go. Now, since we replace it here, the one that is here, which is the orange and the green side pieces, should be out. Let's find it. It's here. Now again, turn it. Green, left out. Turn right, left, right out. Now, here, in this case, we're done with the second layer also. There are possibilities that after you finish the second layer, you automatically get a cross, which you can ignore these next steps. So there will be a total of 3 cases that you will get for the third layer. And the first one would be the line, where the 2 side pieces, their yellow side, are linked to the yellow center. And to solve this, firstly we need to hold the Rubik cube horizontal, with the line being horizontal. So now we're gonna do the equation F R righty out F prime. So the big F here means we're only gonna move the front layer, which is the first one, which in this case would be this one. So F righty out F prime. So here we got a cross. Here is the second case that you might get, which is the angle, which the right one and the bottom one is linked to the center, but there's not a line, there isn't a cross, that's not just a dot, it's an angle. So to do this, what we need to do is hold the angle in our right side and the bottom side. So it's gonna be like this, but nothing like this or this. To do so, you need to solve this to cross. You must put the angle in the right and the bottom. Now what we need to do is the small f, righty up, and the f prime. The small f means that you're gonna turn the front 2 layers, which the first layer is this one, the second layer is gonna be this one. So we're gonna f, righty out, and small f prime. So here again we got a cross. So here is the third case that you might get in the third layer. It is called a dot. It's called a dot because there's only one colored dot that is linked to the side of the center. So the solving method of a dot is a combination of the solving method of the line and the angle, which what we need to do is first the line, F, write it out, and F prime. Now it's the angle, which is the first layer, F, again, write it out, and F prime. So here we will get again the cross, which is what we wanted. Although we now have the cross, but we will notice that the edges isn't in their correct position. There are possibilities like this, that some edge are in the correct position, where the green is to the green center, the red is to the red center. However, in this case, there's only one edge in their correct position. So firstly, we're gonna do a adjacent swap in order to swap this two edge in a diagonal situation. So we're gonna do it in a diagonal situation. So the adjacent swap is the righty out 3 times, we spin right, and then the lefty out 3 times. So in this case, it doesn't matter how you really hold the cube, since it doesn't really matter how you hold the cube as long as the yellow is facing up. So let's do the adjacent swap. So write it out once, twice, 3. Then spin right, lefty out. 1, 2, 3. So now let's turn the bottom 2 layers and match this back to its original. So it's blue, red. This is in their wrong position. This is correct. This is also in the wrong position. So again, we need to do a diagonal. So in this case, we're going to do a diagonal again. So righty out, righty out, righty out, turn right, lefty out, lefty out, lefty out. So now let's see again. Yellow, blue, orange. Yellow, blue, orange. Let's find where is it. Yellow, blue, orange. Yellow, green, red. Yellow, orange, green. Yellow, blue, red. Now this edge is in the correct position with red, green, yellow, same as this. Orange, green, yellow. So the only the only edges that are in the wrong position is this two. So the thing we need to do now is the side. We need to do the action, which is the side being wrong, which is again the adjacent swap again. So make sure that the one with the wrong position in the side is in your left side. So now we're gonna do the righty out again. 1, 2, 3, and spin right, lefty out. 1, 3. Now let's take a look at it. Orange, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, green, yellow, yellow, green, orange. Okay. So in other words, in order to solve a diagonal, we need to do the adjacent swap twice. Now, after we make all the edges in their right position, we need to make all the yellow edges facing to the yellow center. To do so, we're gonna hold it back opposite again to the original where the white is back up. And we need to turn the yellow pieces that is not facing the yellow center in our bottom right, which we can see here. So here we're gonna repeat the righty out until the yellow edge match the yellow center. Do so. We're gonna a bit, yeah. So righty out, righty out, righty out, righty out. Now we'll notice that the yellow edge piece is now in the yellow, is facing the yellow center. Now in this case, remember that we're now gonna turn the other piece here to the yellow piece here to face the yellow center. But remember, don't spin the whole Rubik cube, because only spin the bottom layer only. So we need to make this edge in the righty in the bottom right. So we're gonna turn it twice so it's in the bottom right. Now again, repeat the righty out, righty out, righty out. Now when we look at the bottom, we'll notice that all the yellow edges is facing the yellow center. So now when we look at our Rubik cube, we'll notice that the yellow side is done, the white side is done, and there's the two corners are in their correct position except for the side pieces. There are situations that all the 4 side pieces are not linked to their colored center. But in this case, what we have is a blue and yellow side pieces that linked to its blue center and its yellow center. So what we need to do is face the blue side to ourselves and the yellow side on top, and then we will have the equation of write it out, write it out 5 times, and left it out 5 times. So we're gonna hold it for the blue facing us, then we're gonna do the right it out, left it out, right it out 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the lefty out 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, there are, and then we notice that still the color, the side pieces are still in the wrong position. There are possibility that this will happen, that you need to do this equation twice. So again, right it out, left it out, right it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then now the lefty out 5 times. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we need to put the orange back to orange, and here we go. We completely solved the Rubik cube.